As an old Yu-Gi-Oh player who had his love for this game revitalized, I have been on a journey reacting and reviewing a bunch of archetypes that I've never heard about before, or taking a look at old archetypes of brand new support that I didn't know about. We are eventually with this channel going to be taking a look at probably every archetype ever when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! And today we are going to be talking about the Icejade archetype, which was a suggestion, so thank you very, very much. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with a YouTube channel. So I've never heard about this, don't know when it came out, I don't know anything about the archetype. This is my very first time seeing anything about any of these cards, and we're going to start off over here with Icejade Acti, okay? It's an Aqua, 4-star, water monster, 1000, 1000. If this card is normal or special summon, you can send one water monster from your hand to the graveyard, draw one card. If a face-up water monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon one Icejade monster from your hand or graveyard, except Icejade Acti. You can only use this effect of Icejade Acti once per turn. Okay, so I would imagine that even just with the name over here, Icejade, first of all, we're going to make a card art commentary on this, and this card is a very pretty card right from the get-go over here. I like this, okay? I like the two effects from it. They always, anything with draw power is always good for me, so I think this is a good start, and I would imagine that's going to be pretty helpful for the deck, but I still don't know exactly what we're going to be taking a look at. And I guess it held true where we're taking a look at another water monster over here. Let's continue on to the next Icejade card. And is this the same girl we took a look at last time? I'm looking too deep into the artwork already. I'm somebody who appreciates artwork in this game, guys. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Icejade spell or trap from your deck to your hand. When your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card or targets this card as an attack or for an attack, this is a quick effect, you can activate this effect. The next time this card will be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn, it is not destroyed. Also, special summon one water monster from your hand or graveyard except for this card, but return it to the hand during the end phase. You can only use each effect once per turn. So, kind of like the other card, I like that there are two effects to go along with this. I would imagine that this was helpful, but I still need to take a look at a little bit more of the archetype to get a feel for all of these cards. And we have a little bit more of a boss monster over this. Look at this. How do you even say that? Icejade Creation, Agriocasis, and I'm going to look so stupid if that's an actual word because I'm not familiar with the word. Anyways, okay, so this is a big boy tuner over here, all right? 2,000, 2,000, 1,000, the other cards were 1,000, 1,000, I believe. While this card is equipped to a monster, the equipped monster gains 400 attack and defense for each banished monster. You can only use one of the following effects of Icejade Creation once per turn and only once that turn. If this card is in your hand or graveyard except during the damage step, this is a quick effect. You can target one Icejade monster you control, equip this card to the monster you control. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can special summon this card. Okay. So you can use this to get a little bit of a one-up on your opponent's attack on your opponents in the battle phase, but obviously this is just a free tuner monster to get out. If you're just going to equip it to your monster, you can get it out. Initially, when I was starting to read the effect, I was like, okay, are we going to have a little bit of one of those, like, I know we've been learning a little bit about some link monsters and some pendulum monsters where some things like circle back in and out of the spell and trap card zone. I didn't know if it was going to be one of those cases, but it just looks like it's going to, and I don't know if it's going to continue on because we still have more cards to take a look at, but it's an easy way to get a tuner monster out in the field. Basically a free tuner, a free synchro summon. So it is a very, very good card, okay? We also have Icejade Creation Kingfisher over here, okay? Another high-level monster. This is 2,500, 2,500. You can target one water monster you control, equip this card from your hand or field to it. An Icejade monster equipped with this card can attack while in defense position. If it does, apply its defense for damage calculation. While this card is equipped to a monster, you can target one monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the equipped monster's defense, special summon this card, and if you do, return that monster to the hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. I like both of those. I like that you can have the monsters in defense, and I don't know if we're going to have a card out there that has like an incredible amount of defense that you can like keep this card out there with. But it's always cool where you have a defense monster. We haven't seen something like that in a long time, where you can attack with a defense position monster. I can't remember back in the day, like, there was maybe a couple old cards that I'm thinking of, or maybe I'm misremembering, but I think there were old cards where it's like, you can attack with this monster while in defense position. I'm kind of remembering that from the old days, but it's not really coming to me. So I'm kind of getting the idea for this. The low monsters, you can obviously, they're pretty easy to get out, but the big boy monsters over here, you can just equip and then special summon, so you can basically get these things out for free as long as you have an Icejade card there. I think this card is probably the best one that we've taken a look at so far, especially since you can special summon it, you can get a card bounce back to the hand. Now we have a synchro monster over here. To take a look at this, I think this is the same girl in the artwork. I'm sorry, I keep looking at the artwork. Anyways, so we need a water tuner and a non-tuner monsters over here. This is a quick effect. You can activate this effect. Face-up monsters you control cannot be destroyed or banished by your opponent's card effects this turn. Excuse me if you could hear my notification. Then, if you activated this effect in response to your opponent's card effect or effect activation, and your opponent has a card or cards with that name on their field or in a graveyard, you can banish those cards. If a card or cards is banished by your opponent's card effect, while this card is in your graveyard except during the damage step, you can special summon this card. You can only use each effect once per turn. So the fact that this is a quick effect in general and you have the built-in protection for your monsters is just great in general. Plus you have that extra effect with all the banishing. This is a very good synchro monster, and I haven't counted to what level the tuners are at. I don't remember off the top of my head what level the tuners are at, but I would imagine that this is pretty easy to get out there with the tuners that we've taken a look at so far. We continue on with another big boy Icejade over here, okay? I can't really make out what this is in the artwork, to be honest with you. It's like a secret rare on the site, okay? If a face-up card is in a field zone, which I would imagine we're going to be talking about a field spell, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon one Icejade once per turn this way, while Icejade Cenote Enion Cradle is on the field. I don't know what card that is. We haven't taken a look at it yet. Monsters your opponent controls can only activate their effects the turn they are summoned. If your Icejade monster battles an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster loses 1,000 attack during damage calculation only. This card's phenomenal. It's reminding me, you guys, if you've been following the channel, you might know I'm a big fan of cards that reduce the attack points of your opponent's monsters. It makes them hell. Plus, you can only activate effect monsters' effects on the turn that they're summoned. This thing is something that you want to keep out there. My annoying little self over here would combo this bad boy with a Moon Mirror Shield over there and just keep it on the field. Along with the synchro protection, that's a very, very good card, okay? I like that one. Let's continue on to the next Icejade over here, okay? I still can't make out what the heck I'm looking at. It's going to be an interesting card art commentary once we break these down, okay? So we have another tuner monster over here, okay? This card's name becomes Icejade's Cenote Enion Cradle. Is that the last card that was supposed to be up on the field for the previous effect? I believe it is, okay? Anyways, while equipped with an equip card, you can discard one other Icejade card or water monster, special summon this card from your hand, then you can special summon one Icejade token, Aqua, Water level 3, 0/0. While that token is in the monster zone, the player who summoned it that way cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except water monsters. You can only use this effect once per turn. Okay. It's not nearly as easy to get out, obviously, as the other ones where it's like, hey, take this card, equip it to a monster, you get it back out on the field. I don't know if the effect is worth getting that thing out of the field, though. Let's continue on to the next Icejade over here. Back to the level 4 monsters. You can send one card from your hand to the graveyard, then target one water monster in your graveyard, send this card from the field to the graveyard, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster. If a face-up water monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon one Icejade monster from your hand or graveyard, except Icejade Tenola. This looks very, very familiar to what we were talking about at the beginning. Maybe we didn't take a look at it, though. You can only use this effect once per turn. Hang on. Oh, no, it was Acti that we took a look at. I just went back and took a look at him. Like, this one seems a little bit familiar. The 1000, 4-star Aqua level 4 water. Okay. This card's great. This card is definitely, it's easy to get out. It has a great effect. You can just basically get whatever water monster you want to. What I do like about this, and I might as well touch on it now, is that this seems easy to work with any other water deck. If you guys been following the channel, you might know I have been playing Frog Monarchs my entire life, and while I don't imagine the Frog Monarchs are with the modern day meta anymore, I have played that my entire life, and I would imagine, like, I don't know what format these would be legal in, but if it's a format that's a little bit slower, I could see this mixing in with some frog cards over here. Just like having a few Icejades here and there. You know what I mean? But I don't know how important that field spell is going to be. So we're going to talk a little bit more about it once we get there. But we have another Icejade to talk about for now, okay? This is 1500, a level 5 monster. The levels are kind of all over the place for this deck, eh? You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard. Special summon one water monster from your hand. If a face-up water monster or monsters you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card's in your graveyard, you can banish this card, special summon one Icejade monster from your hand or graveyard, except Icejade Tamora. You can use this effect of Icejade once per turn. I like both effects. I don't know, the problem is it's a level 5 and it's 1500 attack. Don't know how I feel about that, but then again, you can just discard it, you can special summon another monster from your hand. It's a little bit of a -1, but it has a pretty good graveyard effect too. I would imagine that this card functions well. It's just, in my opinion, not as good as the other cards that we've talked about over here. Okay, let's continue on over to the field spell. This is the one that I wanted to see. All right, let's see what it does. When this card is activated, you can add one of your Icejade monsters that is banished or in your graveyard to your hand. Once per turn, if a monster or monsters is normal or special summoned except during the damage step, you can target one water monster you control. That monster, along with any face-up monsters your opponent currently controls, loses attack equal to the target monster's original attack until the end of this turn. Oh, okay. Okay. Again, I'm a big fan of cards that reduce the reduce the attack points of your opponent's monsters. Give me my number 103 Ragnazero. I love using that card. If you can somehow cycle, hey, we have some 4-stars in this deck. We can make that work. But I think it's good. I think it's a very underrated tool in Yu-Gi-Oh! In general to have effects that reduce the attack points of monsters. I think it's a good field spell, man. I think it's a good field spell right off the bat, and just have all of your opponent's monsters lose attacks for something so easy. Pretty good. We also have Icejade Cradle over here, okay? Add one Icejade monster from your deck to your hand with a different name from the cards you control or in your graveyard. Decent card. You can get a nice searcher if you have one copy of something. We also have a continuous spell over here, Icejade Curse, okay? While an Icejade monster and Icejade Cenote Enion Cradle are on the field, okay, so you need both, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters that were summoned that turn. Oh, I see. I see. So you have the card effect where it's like your opponents can only activate effects on the turn that it's summoned, and now you just like cancel it out completely and you have a straight up skill drain, okay? When a monster is destroyed by battle involving your Icejade monster, you can target one of the destroyed monsters, inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack. Dude, this is probably the best card in the entire deck. This is a great card. Having both of those effects there, great. Great card. Run 3 copies of this bad boy over here, okay? Let's continue on over to Icejade Manifestation. If you control a water monster and your opponent has a monster on their field or graveyard, take one Icejade monster from your deck and either send it to the graveyard or special summon it. If a face-up Icejade monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card except being destroyed and except during the damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one card your opponent controls, banish it. You can only use each effect once per turn. This is another good card. The spell cards that we've taken a look at for this deck right now are so far have been really amping up the power of the deck in my opinion. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't though. There's probably a lot of water cards in general that just work with this deck. It's probably really easy to intertwine some things in here, okay? We have a quick play spell as well. Million Century Ice Prison. Very unique piece of artwork with all of these cards, guys. During the main phase, if a monster or monsters you control leaves the field by an opponent's monster effect, except by being destroyed, activate one of these effects. End the main phase. Skip the main phase one of your opponent's next turn. What? See, these are the types of cards that a lot of people don't really like in the metagame nowadays, and I find myself agreeing. But unfortunately, this is a good card because you can activate this card with the amount of cards that do things that don't just destroy. It's an effect that you can definitely get out there, and I would probably run 3 copies of this thing as well. We have another continuous card to look at, but this one's a trap card, okay? Icejade Erosion. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy one Icejade monster you control, and if you do, negate the targeted card's effects until the end of this turn. If a face-up water monster you control leaves the field by an opponent's card, except by being destroyed and except during the damage step, you can add to your hand or special summon one Icejade monster from your deck. So you can just negate an effect. That's always useful to happen, but I like the other effect that it has. I'd rather use the spell cards over here. I like the continuous spells, but this one's like, what am I saying? It's a decent card. It's just like not like mind-blowing like we've taken a look at with some other cards over here. But overall, the archetype, very interesting to take a look at. If any of you are familiar with this Icejade archetype, which I would imagine a lot of you are, tell me if there's any other archetypes that you can easily mix into this deck, because I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement, even though this deck itself I could see working in general. I don't know when it's come out. I don't know if it's ever seen some play or anything like that. It's difficult for me to judge how well a deck would work in the modern day, but if you want to learn more cards with me, then why don't you check out this video on screen right now? I would love to have you over there. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care, everybody.